All right, let's dive into section 3, the solar eclipse anomaly, where we literally start tracking the darkness. Having mathematically deduced that the crucifixion absolutely had to occur on a Wednesday, Ezekiel 3 then shifts their focus to the heavens. They want to find the exact historical date. And this is where modern software completely revolutionizes biblical archaeology. Decades ago, this specific text in Luke describing darkness covering the land from noon to 3 in the afternoon was often just brushed off as a poetic metaphor for sorrow. But today, the Creator treats it as a hard, physical, undeniable data point. With modern astronomy software, we can literally rewind the ancient skies to see what was actually happening. For our researcher, this literal 3-hour window of darkness isn't poetry. It is a precise astronomical coordinate just waiting to be tracked down and solved. To really grasp the deductions here, we need a quick crash course in orbital mechanics. Mainstream scholars who support the traditional 33 AD Friday crucifixion often point to a partial lunar eclipse that happened on April 3rd of that year. Now, a lunar eclipse happens when the Earth passes directly between the sun and the moon. Physically speaking, this can only ever happen during a full moon. But Ezekiel 3 points out a glaring issue. That specific lunar eclipse peaked around 5 p.m. That is well outside the biblical 12 to 3 p.m. window. On the flip side, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon gets between the Earth and the sun, literally blocking out the daylight, and this can absolutely only happen during a new moon. Here is the massive anomaly. Passover traditionally occurs on the 14th day of the Jewish lunar month. Mathematically, that guarantees a full moon. So for the sun to literally stop shining in the middle of the day on Passover, it had to be a solar eclipse, which utterly defies standard natural orbital mechanics. Ezekiel 3's conclusion? Passover, that specific year, miraculously occurred on a new moon, powerfully marked by a midday solar eclipse. Which brings us right to section 4, the sign of Jonah, literally written in the stars. Using powerful celestial software like Stellarium, the Creator starts scanning the ancient skies over Jerusalem. They are hunting for a very specific set of variables. A solar eclipse that lands on a Wednesday, during a new moon, that perfectly fits that midday darkness timeline. And they actually find an incredible, definitive anchor point. March 19, 33 AD. On this incredibly specific date, there was indeed a solar eclipse visible straight from Jerusalem. Think about the astronomical odds of an eclipse intersecting directly over Jerusalem on this exact year, specifically on a Wednesday, right during the Passover season. They are staggeringly rare, but it gets better. This eclipse peaked precisely at 1:40 p.m. This level of mathematical precision almost perfectly bisects the biblical 3-hour window of 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. For the source, this isn't just a coincidence. This is the undeniable, absolute linchpin of data they need to anchor their entire prophetic timeline.